Are drugs ruining tennis? What about the pay of the women players? We'll take a look. Danny, what's going on with Maria Sharapova? Did she take drugs or was that just a mistake?
No, she took drugs, Matthew. She's been taking drugs for 10 years.
Wait a minute. She said it was for health reasons, not for kind of stimulation reasons. Is that true?
But for the 10 years she was taking the drug was not banned. So it was perfectly legal for her to do that.
Yeah, but you heard her press conference, which the whole world heard. She apologized. She said it was a mistake. It was never on the list until January 1st, and now it's on the list, and she had heart problems to boot. Do you buy it?
Matthew, she makes $27 million a year.
Danny, let me $29 million a year.
She has a whole team. No one read the announcement that it was now illegal to use the drug?
Look, if you got a cold or the flu, you take some drugs. I'm not saying that she's a complete innocent, but is this drug one that other tennis players use?
I think other tennis players had used it, but I think all the other tennis players, or most of them, read the announcement in January that it was banned, so they stopped using it.
It was maybe it was written in a second language for her. So the question is it because this is a earth-shattering thing. She's one of the leading tennis players. What about Nadal? There are rumors about Nadal. Nadal has never failed a drug test, to use Lance Armstrong's phrases. Is there a chance that this spills into other circles or not?
I think there's a chance, Matthew, but I think Nadal has now taken several people to court because he's tired of the rumors. He's never been tested. Tested positive. So the fact is that he's in denial, and so far he hasn't been caught. I don't think there are many tennis players who would risk using a drug that was banned because it could mean that they'd be suspended. For example, the man who won the U.S. Open was suspended for a certain period because he had taken an illegal drug.
But wait, can you tell me a sport where drugs are not a problem? I mean, horse racing, it's probably croquet. Maybe croquet.
How do you know, Matthew? Are you sure?
That mallet is big. Here's the tennis is a painful sport at the professional level. You've got to play up to 5 sets in the men's, up to 3 sets in women's tennis. It's grueling. It's often hot in Australia or wherever Paris, wherever the tournament's being played. And they take these drugs, including drugs that have legitimate reasons for health. For what? For endurance?
For endurance, perhaps if they have an injury. But I think one of the times before we talked about betting, and it seems to me that tennis is a sport, but it's also entertainment and business, and society being what it is, people are going to bet, and some of the athletes are going to take risks by taking drugs.
No, but it's more than that, Danny. If Maria Sharapova, who's a good player, she's not elite level, she's not Serena Williams, she's not Steffi Graf or
she's won 5 Grand Slams.
Yeah, but she hasn't won 15 or whatever Serena's won. The point is, she's not making $30 million a year if she's not at that elite level. To stay at the elite level, do you have to dope? I think you probably do.
No, I don't think so. But let's talk about women's money. Let's talk about, do women get equal pay for the tournaments?
Or they don't get equal pay. Is that your man, Mr. Moore, out there in California said they're on the coattails of the men. Is it true or is it not true?
Well, Djokovic said basically the same thing. I think they're absolutely wrong. At the height of the women's game, for example, Billie Jean King started in her great match that she played, the battle of the sexes. But I think after that, if you see Navratilova, Chris Evert, I think there are plenty of people who come to the stadium to watch the women play. I think it's extremely exciting. And I think Ray Moore got fired, or he's no longer the director of Indian Wells.
I think, let's be fair, he resigned from his position.
I don't think he could have stayed
at Indian Wells. But that's because everybody was unhappy that he said women basically shouldn't make what men are making. Isn't that the case?
And Djokovic implied the same thing, but I think most of the players, Andy Murray, Roger Federer, said that was a mistake, and it was absolutely not true.
But is it fair to pay them equally, or should they be paid by the ratings? What if you paid every professional by the amount of clicks that they got for that match or the size of the audience? Would that be fair?
It's a question of prize money, Matthew. It's to have in the major tournaments that the women get the same prize money for winning the tournament, being in the semifinals, and I think that's perfectly justified.
We may never agree. That's all the time, though, we have this week on Money in Sports. I'm Matthew Stevenson.
I'm Danny Warner.